Hmm. 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 Ding 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 ding. How do I change the thumbnail and shit? Hmm. Okay. I'm just gonna. What the frick, dude? Okay, well, Bruh. There we go. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Nice, nice, nice. Thumbnail. Mine. Mm-hmm. What a quality so bad. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Nope. Screenshot, screenshot, screenshot. Oh, nice. 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 Perfect. Okay. Okay. And we're recording too. Let's go. W. Alright, what should we work on? Array, string, hash table. Yeah, I think I gotta get good with my linked list and Junt. Let's see here. Actually, yeah, I want to do this real quick. Let's go Python 3. Okay. Merge two sorted lists. Here is the idea. Let's go to whiteboard. Okay. Merge two sorted lists. Here is my solution for this Junt right here. So we got linked lists, two of them bad boys, right? And let's see, it's 1 1 2 3 4 4, right? 2 3 4 4. First, we have a dummy head, don't matter what it is, right? And then we have a value called cur that'll be set to this dummy head. Basically, what we want to do is take this cur value, set it equal to the node that has the least value, right? Right. And obviously we need a variable like, I don't know, like list1 that'll be associated with this, and like list2 that'll be associated with this, right? So let's say, like, for the sake of simplicity, this one is 0. So we take our cur bad boy, and then we set the cur's next pointer to this one. And we know to set it to this one because we'll compare list1.val and list2.val. And then we increment list1 to the next thing, next node. Okay? And because we do that, now we compare these two values. And obviously, 1 is going to be the lesser of those. So cur is going to be set to this one, the next value for cur, obviously. And then you increment cur, and then you increment list2, and then you compare again, which one is less. Oh, it's 2. Okay, so cur.next is going to be this bad boy. And then you increment list1. And then you compare 3 4. This is less. Increment. Compare. It don't matter which one you set it to. Right? And then once you hit the end, you're going to be left with like one node that hasn't been attached to the end yet, and one node. So one of these two basically isn't going to be attached to the end. You just very simply figure out which one that is, and then just combine it to, just attach it to the end. Very, very nice and simple. Very nice and simple. So let's code it up now. Freaking. I'm gonna keep it fast for you guys. So let's handle a couple of goofy edge cases. If not list 1 and not list 2, which means both of them are empty, you return none because there's no lists, right? And after you do if not list 1 or not list 2, meaning only one of them is empty because it survived this one. That means only one of them is empty. So you would return the one that is not null, right? And then now we get to the good stuff. You set your dummy head to list node 0, right? Oh, wait, my bad. And then you get your cur and, set it equal to the dummy head node. And then you got list 1 is equal to, what should we set? What should we set it equal to? Actually, wait, no. List 1 is already a value. My bad. We got chuddy and we got breh. Okay? Does that make sense? Chuddy is equal to list 1. Bruh is equal to list 2. So we'll do while chutty and bruh, okay? And we'll do if chutty.val is less than or equal to bruh.val. So basically what we're checking is if so chutty and bruh are both here and here. And what we're checking is if the top value is less. If top value is less, we're going to assign cur.next is equal to chutty, right? And cur is equal to cur.next, so we increment that forward. And then we also increment chutty. And the else case is if the second list, bruh, is actually less. Then cur.next is going to be equal to bruh, increment cur, increment bruh, very simple. And then the list has been reassigned, and now you're going to be left with one of the ends left over. So you're going to check if bruh is equal to none, then you assign cur.next to chuddy. And if chuddy is equal to none, that means you assign cur.next to bruh. Okay. And then at the very end, dummy head.next. You just return dummy head.next. See if it runs. A little syntax error somewhere. Cinty winky. Alright, so we got a little Cinty winky error while chutty and bruh chutty are next equal chutty. Oh, my bad. There we go. There we go. Nice. Submit. We got ourselves 0 milliseconds. Well, we'll see. 0 milliseconds runtime. That's what I'm talking about. Nice. Nice. You know what? Let's do that again. Maybe. You know what? Let's do it again. Why not? Right? Why not? Today, we're going to be solving merge two sorted lists. And how never mind, bruh. Boom. Okay, one more time. Today we're gonna be solving merge two sorted lists. Let's read the problem here. You are given the heads of two sorted linked lists, list 1 and list 2. Merge the two lists into one sorted list. The list should be made by splicing together the nodes of the first two lists and return the head of the merge linked list. So basically what this is asking is that you're given two lists that are both in ascending order, but they're not in ascending order relative to each other. So you're supposed to combine the two linked lists into one linked list in which it is all in proper ascending order. Hope that made sense. So let's head out right here, and this is how I'm going to approach solving the problem. So let's say you have a linked list like, I'm going to do 2, 4, and let's say you have a second linked list where the value is 1, and then 3, and then 4. So in order to solve this, the best way to do it is to have a dummy head, right? Dummy head, my bad, I spelled that wrong. Set that equal to, whatever, right? And you're going to have a cur pointer that is going to be equal to dummy head initially. So at first, you're going to want to have another two variables that are associated with the head of each list. And you basically want to check, is list 1's value the lesser, or is list 2 value the lesser? You're basically comparing list 1 and list 2's value, right? And then you point to the lesser of the two, and then increment the one that is lesser over by 1. And then you compare those two values. And obviously, 1 is going to be the lesser. And then you, again, increment. And then you check again. Obviously, 2 is less. Increment. Check which one is less. 3. And then you increment. Check which one is less. Doesn't matter. And then increment. And you hit none. And then you can break out of your loop. But you'll always be left with one value that you were unable to fully connect. And then you just check whichever one is not null and then set that one to the very end. All right. So let's code up our solution. Let's see here. So let's just get some annoying edge cases out of the way, right? Let's do if not list 1 and not list 2, meaning both of them are empty, you return none. If not list 1 or not list 2, meaning only one of them is empty, because we already checked if both of them aren't empty. And if this is true, only one of them are empty, so you return the one that isn't empty. And now we can get into the good stuff. So first, we create our dummy head. And we set that equal to whatever cur is equal to dummy head for now. And then we'll do while list 1 and list 2. And now we will check which one is the lesser of the two, right? If list 1 is less than or equal to list 2, cur.next is equal to list 1. And then you increment cur forward. Else, meaning the second list is great or lesser, you'll do cur.next is equal to list 2. Or actually, my bad, right here, you should also move list 1 forward. List 1 is equal to list 1.next. And just for the sake of organization, let's keep that up there. List 2 is equal to list 2.next. And cur is equal to cur.next. And with that, you'll reassign everything and then be left with one little thing at the end that you were unable to connect. So we will check, is list 1 null? If it is, then cur.next is going to be equal to list 2. If list 2 is null, cur.next is going to be equal to list 1, and then you return dummy head dot next return. So let's see if that worked. Whoops. Sorry, guys. You have to check the values, not the node address. There we go. Let's submit it, see if it works. Bang! That's what I'm talking about. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Helps a lot. Thank you. Yeah. list. The list should be made by fussing together the nodes of the first sorted lists. Boom. Okay, one more time. Today we're gonna be solving merge two sorted. Let's see here. So let's just get some annoying. Today we're gonna be solving merge two into one sorted list. Let's read the problem here. We were given the two sorted lists. Let's read two sorted lists. Let's read the problem here. We were given the problem. Merge two sorted. Today we're going to be solving merge two sorted. Man, CapCut is better, bro. Import. Yes, sir. Bang. 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 We were given the heads of. Today we're going to be solving. Today we're going to be solving merge two sorted lists. Today we're going to be solving. Today we're going to be solving merge two sorted lists. And how boom. Okay, one more time. Today we're going to be two sorted lists. We're going to be solving merge. Today we're going to be solving merge two sorted lists. Let's read the problem here. We were given the get some annoying edge cases out of the that you. All right. So let's code up our solution. Let's see here. So let's just get some annoying edge cases out of the way, right? Let's do if, oops. Let's see here. Out of the way, right? List 1 and not list 2, meaning both. Say, let's just get some annoying edge cases out of the way. If not list 1 and not list 2, meaning both of them are empty, you return none. If not list 1 and, or not list 2, meaning only one of them is empty, because we already checked if both of them aren't empty. And if this is true, only one of them are empty, so you return the one that isn't empty. Now we can get into the good stuff. So first, we create our dummy head. Set that equal to whatever cur is equal to dummy head for now. And then we'll do while list 1 and list 2. And now we will check which one is the lesser of the two, right? List 1 is less than or equal to list 2. Cur.next is equal to list 1. And you increment cur forward. Else, meaning the second list is great or lesser, will be cur.next is equal to list 2. Or actually, my bad, right here, you should also move list 1 forward. List 1 is equal to list 1.next. And just for the sake of organization, let's keep that up there. List 2 is equal to list 2.next. Cur.next. And with that, you will reassign everything and then be left with one little thing at the end that you were unable to connect. So we will check, is list 1 null? If it is, then cur.next is going to be equal to list 2. If list 2 is null, cur.next is equal to list 1, and then you return dummy head.next. Let's see if that worked. Whoops. Sorry guys. You have to check the values, not the node address. Submit it, see if it works. Bang! That's what I'm talking about. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Helps a lot. Thank you. We're going to be solving merge two sorted lists. Let's read the problem here. We were given the heads of two sorted linked lists, list 1 and list 2. Merge the two lists into one sorted list. The list should be made by splicing together the nodes of the first two lists and return the head of the merged linked list. So basically what this is asking is that you're given two lists that are both in ascending order, but they're not in ascending order relative to each other. So you're supposed to combine the two linked lists into one linked list in which it is all in proper ascending order. Hope that made sense. So let's head out right here, and this is how I'm gonna approach solving the problem. So let's say you have a linked list like 2, 4. Let's say you have a second linked list where the value is 1, and then 3, and then 4. So in order to solve this, the best way to do it is to have a dummy head, right? Dummy head, I spelled that wrong. Set that equal to, whatever, right? And you're gonna have a cur pointer that is gonna be equal to dummy head initially. So at first, you're gonna want to have another two variables that are associated with the head of each list, and you basically want to check, is a list 1's value the lesser, or is list 2 value the lesser? You're basically comparing list 1 and list 2's value, right? And then you point to the lesser of the two, and then increment the one that is lesser over by 1, and then you compare those two values, and obviously 1 is going to be the lesser, and then you again increment, and then you check again, obviously 2 is less, increment, check which one is less, 3, and then you increment, check which one is less, doesn't matter, and then increment, and you hit none. And then you can break out of your loop, but you'll always be left with one value that you were unable to fully connect, and then you just check whichever one is not null, and then set that one to the very end. Alright, so let's code up our solution. Let's see here. So let's say, let's get some annoying edge cases out of the way. If not list 1 and
bang, bang, bang. Absolutely W.
sorted linked list, list 1 and list 2. Merge the two lists into one sorted list. The list should be made by splicing together the nodes of the first two lists and return the head of the merged linked list. So basically what this is asking is that you're given two lists that are both in ascending order, but they're not in ascending order relative to each other. So you're supposed to combine the two linked lists into one linked list in which it is all in proper ascending order. Hope that made sense. So let's head out right here, and this is how I'm going to approach solving the problem. So let's say you have a linked list like 2, 4, and let's say you have a second linked list where the value is 1, and then 3, and then
Nick 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 nick. Ain't that right, Bubba? Am I still streaming? That's insane. Bang. LeetCode IO. Ding 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 ding. That's what I'm talking about, my man. I will screenshot. I will scan you too. Would you look at diet? Would you look at diet? Let's get out of here. Nah, I don't like that. That's bad, bro. What the frick? Yo, bro, you good? I need CapCut real quick.
read the problem here. You are given the heads of two sorted linked lists, list 1 and list 2. Merge the two lists into one sorted list. The list should be made by fussing together the nodes of the first two lists and return the head of the merged linked list. So basically what this is asking is that you're given two lists that are both in ascending order, but they're not in ascending order relative to each other. So you're supposed to combine the two linked lists into one linked list in which it is all in proper ascending order. Hope that makes sense. So let's head out right here.
Upload. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. Wait a minute. Interesting.
I got a huge container of caviar.